Bannockburn Football Club for the senior grand final this afternoon. And just as we see the teams lining up, I think they're coming in for the national anthem. But today's umpires are central in Paul Grosman, Rod Stokes, and the emergency is Neil Cromer. The boundary umpires are Jonathan Dutton and Ben Gore, and the goals are Eric Billing and John Hill. We see players out in the centre of the ground at the present time, just lining up. North Geelong with their captain in number 1, Jamie Hutchison. We've got some strong players in Matthew Poulter and also Mark Dragovic. Just pause for a moment. Yes, and it's the West Coast Grand Final here today in under-18 football between North Geelong and Corio. We see both teams actually going into their final huddles before the game will commence, and both teams will be eager today. It's the last game, and it's the prize that everybody plays for each year. This is the Grand Final Cup. North Geelong, undefeated so far this season, will be looking to make sure that they can continue on their good form, and Corio will be looking to make sure that they can try and topple this side this morning. And joining me for today's commentary is the Newtown veteran in Noel Fanning. Good morning, Noel. I was going to say good afternoon, as we've been used to all year.
We have so, Chris. That's right. Thanks, Chris. And it's good to be here. And I believe North Geelong are going for a championship here, Chris.
They certainly are, and they start red-hot favourites for this morning's match, having been the yardstick of this competition all season.
It's interesting to note if we could just get the cameraman to pan across all the water, surface water laying across the oval. I know there was a super stopper supposed to have come here this morning. Look at that on screen. It's like a lake.
Yes, it certainly is.
It's a shame, isn't it?
It's disappointing for the game, but because it'll reduce the spectacle of the grand final when two excellent teams play off, and we'll see today whether, as the game goes on, whether that's going to turn into a mud patch all over the ground, or whether or not it actually can be soaked up by the players and distributed evenly without causing any mud sections around the ground. But players from both sides are actually taking up their positions. We see Paul Grosman, the umpire, in the centre of the ground, waiting to start the game. I think there'll be a few butterflies in these players' bellies as the game's just about to start. And certainly in the first 5 minutes we expect some very fierce competition as both teams try to win that first possession and get that first goal on the board. Both sides have a wealth of talent out here today, Noel. I noticed that there's talent in the midfield and on the board.
Mate, there's some experience here. Just get a shot of those flags, please. Dean, our cameraman, Dean Bush is our cameraman. The breeze is going to the right of screen, and that's the way Corio are going.
And up goes Matthew King. He knocks the ball down, but it comes down into the centre of the ground. Players from both sides are fighting hard for the ball. Danny McCall tried to get onto his boot, but I think he's been deemed to be held in possession. And then on that occasion, it's Alan Alford that will take the kick. He drives it up to the half-forward line, up there looking for his teammates there. Goes over the back of the pack. Coming in there was Matt Armstrong. He couldn't pick up the ball. Now he handballs it away. Comes back to that Corio player there in Troy Rose. He's tossed it up in the air, but once again, the ball's at ground level. It's been forced towards their goal, smothered off the boot there by the forward line of the Corio side, and it's trickled over the boundary line. It'll be thrown in deep into their attacking zone, 5 metres around from their goal line. Boundary umpire goes to throw the ball in over the back of the pack. There's knocked down that player in Matthew King, but to cut down where we see from both sides going hard at ground, picked up by Toole, is it? Toole's had a flying shot, a goal, and it's a goal. First goal to the Corio Toole, the captain of the Corio Football Club. I believe that he's a co-captain with Joel Hayes here, and the first goal, the first blood drawn by Corio Football Club. They lead on the GDFL
Bongo Centre.
Scoreboard, 1 goal straight, 6 points to North Geelong yet to score, and they are kicking with the aid of, I'd say, a very strong breeze here this morning. I think it's very difficult to judge how much they're worth because the wind doesn't actually seal it for you, does it, Noel?
No, it certainly doesn't, but it's a surprising start for Corio. I think, as you said before, North Geelong were red-hot favourites going for a championship. All a bit of hard work there in the ruck, Chris.
Yeah, it certainly was. Tapped out there on that occasion towards his teammate there in Matthew Polder, but he grabbed over the shoulder, and Matthew Polder will take the free kick right in the centre of this mud patch, and it looks as though it's going to start churning up mud. Matthew Polter looks to move North Geelong into attack. Well, Paul kick off the boot, but he's seen his teammate in front there. That's good positioning by that player there in Mark Dragovic, and he'll move the ball deep into the attacking zone for the North Geelong side. That's a better kick, right up deep into the attack. There's a free kick being pulled out here by Paul Grosman, and it's going to the little fella up there. And it looks as though it's Jamie Hutchison, the captain of the North Geelong side. Playing in front of North Geelong when they were kicking into the breeze. It's good positioning. Interleague
representative to Chris, this bloke. Just getting a bit of glare there off that windscreen of that car.
A bit of green. Fair bit of glare there. And he comes.
Good
lines
kick.
It up. Nice kick off the boot. I think he's actually just drifted across. But only 1 point to be registered. And that takes North Geelong to 1 straight behind, and we see Corio 1 straight goal, and that score is on the GDFL Bingo Centre scoreboard. Ball to be brought back in. Ball back at the Corio side, drives it long. Nice looking kick straight out towards the wing position. The ball skids towards the wing there. Coming up there was Troy Rose. He comes in hard, but he couldn't pick up.
Oh, they look like they're skiing.
And certainly a lot of water out there, isn't there? But Troy Rose couldn't pick the ball up on that occasion. Forced the ball to the boundary line. It'll be thrown in right in front of the flags on the outer side of the ground here at Godfrey Street. Boundary umpire just about to throw the ball back into play. Up they go. The big fella there in Armstrong again could knock the ball down, but coming in hard was that North Geelong player there, and I think it was Matthew Polter, but the umpire said it was held in. There's a bit of a dust up on the centre wing. He's picked a free kick out. Paul Grosman to get control of it. I think it's going to Polter. And Polter will move the North Geelong side into attack. Drives it up to the half-forward line. No one could take the mark there on that occasion. Flicked out the back by that Corio defender, but grabbed over the shoulder there. The umpire called play on. Comes out now, it's kicked off the ground. Corio sort of trying to get the ball into towards the defensive side of the ground, but it's kicked off the ground in towards the goal there by the North Geelong team, and I think it's only another point. It's been rushed behind there on this occasion, and players getting a little bit physical there. But another behind to the North Geelong side. They are 2 straight behind. They trail Corio, who are 1 straight goal, and we get blown around here. The ball comes in from full back, and it's been marked there by David Hayes. Oh, he's pulled a free kick out here, and it's been reversed. It's going to Danny McCall for the North Geelong side. Danny McCall. Oh, poor kick off that player's boot as well. Players having difficulty judging the football, but it's picked up by that North Geelong player over there. I can't pick up who it is, but he's kicked a goal anyway. Good kick by that player. He's looks as though he's a redhead, and it's number 21. I think it's Andrew Drabrowski. And a nice kick by that player, and a first goal to the North Geelong side. That's their first, and they are 1-2-8 on the GDFL Bingo Centre scoreboard, and they lead Corio 1 straight goal, 6 points.
That's a interesting goal. Chris, a good snap.
Well, it's interesting that a lot of players are having difficulty picking their legs up, but I suppose it's because a lot of young players don't tend to raise their feet when they and follow through when they kick. But but on that occasion, that player Andrew Drabowski was able to get that score on the board. It comes back out of the centre of the ground. It's knocked up towards the half-forward line. Picked up by that Corio player in Brett Glenn. He moves the ball right up deep into their attacking zone, but taking a strong mark up there was the player up there in for the North Geelong side who couldn't pick up, but it's back into the centre of the ground. Over the back of the pack trying to take that mark was Troy Elsinger. He couldn't take the ball, but it comes down now where it's picked up by his teammate there, driven into the forward line. It comes up where the players from the Corio side dive on the possession of the ball. He gets a handball across, did that player in Matthew Ince, but North Geelong forward line, trying to fight to keep that ball in there as we see the umpire pay a free kick now, and once again it's going to Hutchison. He plays on quickly, he drives it right up and deep into attack. Players from both sides going hard at the ball, trying to kick off the ground. There was Michael Spiteri, but it's gone over the boundary line from that kick and will be thrown in deep into their attacking zone. North Geelong kicking into the wind in this first quarter. Ball's thrown in. Over the back of the pack was Drabowski. Knocked the ball forward. Coming in hard. Once again, the North Geelong defence pushed the ball towards the boundary line. I think it's been kicked off the ground there, and it's probably an infringement against the North Geelong player. And the kick will be taken by the Corio defender. Ooh, another poor kick towards the half-back flank. Gains a lot of distance though. It comes out pretty close to the boundary line by players from both sides going in hard. It's kicked off the ground there and driven up towards the wing position there where Alan Alford couldn't get control of the football. And once again it'll be thrown on the outer side of the ground in this centre area. 8 plays 6 here. Early stages of this game. Ball's thrown in. Tapping the ball forward towards his teammate there. North Geelong get control of footy. They pick the ball up now through the assistance of Trajani. He drives it only about 10 metres though, but players from both sides going in hard. Paul Grosman, the umpire, has picked up a free kick, and it will be taken by the number 5 Guernsey and Daniel Stranger. Stranger's kicks off the boot, smothered there. Goes to the half-forward flank, it's slapped on further, it comes up to where we see that player in Alan Alford get to the football, but he's hotly pressed. He gets the kick to the ball now, it comes up where we see the player there coming through in Daniel Stranger again. No, it's not Daniel Stranger, Joel Hayes coming through, but now it's picked up by that no player.
He's kicked that, Pete. He's kicked that, Chris.
Yes, another good goal from that player from centre half forward, and you can see the advantage of that breeze there from that kick, because that player, when he picked the hoodie up, put it straight onto his boot. And another goal to the Corio side. That's their second. They've crossed the forward line twice, and they've got the rewards twice for that effort. And on the GDFL Bingo Centre scoreboard, they lead 2 goals straight, 12 points, leading North Geelong, who are 1-2-8.
There's our umpires for today, Chris.
Yes, I mentioned it before the game, Noel.
Paul Grossman and Rod Stokes in the centre, Dutton and Gore on the boundaries, Eddie Billings and Johnny Hill in the goals, and of course the emergency is Neil Cromer.
Back in the centre of the ground, up they go. Nice tap out there by that player in Danny McCall, but it comes down to his teammate there in Polly. Kick off the boot was hurried, but it's been marked there by the Corio boy and Luke Anderson. And Sam Weathers it was. Sam Weathers drives the ball to the wing position. The mark's been taken over there by Troy Rose. He moves the ball on quickly, sees the run of his teammate out there where we can't pick up with the glare, but I think it's Adam Walsh, and moved it onto his boot quickly, but the umpire deemed the ball to be over the boundary line before he got his boot to it, and will be thrown in. Midway between the centre wing and the half-forward line for the North Geelong team on the outer side of the ground here on this wet Godfrey Street oval. The ball thrown in. Over the back of the pack was that player Drabowski. Moves the ball forward. It comes out now where we see the teammate there in Ben Morrow moves the ball forward. It's kicked off the ground by Poulter. Deep into the attacking zone now for the North Geelong side. Dangerous. Spells danger signs for the Corio team. Picked up there by Brent Rutherford. Handballs it off, but it comes back and hurry kick off that North Geelong player's boot. And it's gone over the boundary line and will be thrown in there about 10 metres around from their goal line. And that kick came off Adam Walsh's boot. The North Geelong side. Just throw it over the back of the pack. Pushed under it was the Corio ruck, but it comes back out to Poulter. Poulter has a shot for goal, but only 1 point. Another minor score to the North Geelong side. And the first point to Matthew Poulter, certainly starting to have an influence on this game. He's picked up about 4 possessions, I think, in this first early stages of this first quarter. But on the GDFL Bingo Centre scoreboard, North Geelong move a little bit closer to Corio, but over the back of the pack it comes. Running onto the ball there was that player there in Troy Elzinger, but he couldn't get control of it before the ball went over the boundary line and will be thrown in. Once again, on the member side of the ground here at the Godfrey Street Oval, midway on about the half-forward line for the North Geelong side. Over the back of the pack, Elzinger couldn't get the tap down on that occasion. Comes back out where it's picked up by Dragovic. Good pick up by that player. Plays like his father Stephen. Kick off the ground there by that North Geelong player. Tried to direct it back into his path though, but he didn't find that player. The player went the other way, and the Corio player was able to clear and send the ball towards the wing position. The goal up the boundary umpire's just fallen on his backside there.
As we see one of the boys changing his jumper down there, Chris, taking his under jumper off.
Comes down to where Alford couldn't get control of the ball. Comes back to Dragovic. Good pick up once again by that player. Troy Elsinger couldn't get control of it, and it'll be thrown in on half forward line for North Geelong.
Very slippery conditions here today as we see the big fella from North Geelong do the ruck work, but sharked that time nicely by that Corio player there in Alford. Comes back to a pack. You've got to bend over and pick the ball up if you don't mind, Matthew Poulter. He didn't do that, but that allows his teammate to come in and clear the ball, take the ball further in Andrew Drabrowski, and he gets it up to centre half forward. As we see running onto the football that time was Michael Spateri. His kick doesn't go very far. Lobs, plops. Hutchison goes onto it. It comes out to the Corio defenders. Dropping the ball for mine, but the umpire said no, he's going to let it go. The North Geelong boys have tried everything. They've even tried to kick it off the ground, and they've pushed it through for one rushed point, Chris.
Yes, the North Geelong players seem to be going a little bit harder at the footy, but Matthew Poulter and we see the player there in Alford having a bit to say to one another in the centre of the ground here, and Poulter will need to actually play a little bit disciplined football because he's renowned for being pretty aggressive, and he certainly wouldn't want to cause his team a loss of a player on the ground because it's hard enough to win with 18, let alone 17 on the ground. But ball kicked in, comes in there. Drabowski couldn't take the mark. He tried to take a chest mark, dropped down by the Corio player. Comes up now to where we see in the forward pocket for the North Geelong side. Comes out to where we see Stranger come onto the footy. He gets a hurry kick onto his boot. Up they go. Punched away there by David Hayes to the Corio side, but he only punched it into the path there of Danny McCall. McCall drove it up to the half forward line. Tried to tap the ball on was Wes Large, but he couldn't get them there. They're cleared by the Corio defence towards centre wing. Working hard there is that number 25 Guernsey in Brett Glenn, and he'll get the free kick for holding the man without the ball, and he'll move Corio further into attack. He drives the ball up to centre half forward. A nice kick off the boot of by that player. Comes up where we see Joel Musty try to run under the footy. Kicked off the ground there by Ricky Lazovic. Up towards O'Toole. O'Toole taps it nicely under over the back there towards Lazovic. It comes back to O'Toole again. A hurried kick off the boot there, but it's been marked in the last line of defence by the back pocket player for the North Geelong side there. And I think that player was Westcombe. And his 50-metre penalty been paid on this occasion.
Handy against the wind, Chris?
Yeah, it's very handy against the wind, but it doesn't seem to be. These players don't seem to have any trouble moving the footy either end, but they're certainly having trouble kicking the football any length. Nice kick off that boot of that player in towards the centre of the ground. Poulter couldn't mark. Over the back of the pack it came. Handball off Danny McCall. Back to Poulter. Poulter sends it up to the half-forward line. His teammates very classy to get away on this occasion is Troy Rose. He runs towards goal. He might have ran too far, and the umpires pulled him up for that in Paul Grosman, and the Corio defence will clear the ball.
He probably did run a bit too far, don't you think?
Well, he probably did, but it's
you let him go
very
to grand
contentious
final,
one,
wouldn't
isn't it?
Yeah, you let it go to grand final.
He kicks the ball back in towards the centre of the ground. The player trying to dive, take the mark there with Dragovic, but picked up there by the Corio player. Drives it up towards the half-forward line. Dropping the mark there was that North Geelong player, but recovered quickly. And Mark Walsh, he drives it out towards his teammate out wide there. I think it's Elsinger out there, but he couldn't gain control, and once again it's gone over the boundary line and will be thrown in. Centre wing position out of side of the ground.
On the Thompson Lake.
Well, this is what the old ground used to be renowned for, remember? Back in those days.
In fairness to Thompson, we have had a lot of water this week.
I certainly have. Tapped down there by Danny McCall. Comes back to the centre of the ground, running onto it. There's Drabowski again. He's got the chance to scout it, but the umpire ran across his path at the last minute. It comes up there where Troy Rose has got control of the footy, but it's knocked away from him, out of his hands, and over the boundary line. Good defensive work there by that player. I think it was Alford for the Corio side over there.
Mate, you've got Rod Stokes and Paul Grossman out there umpiring, and the quicker of the emergency bloke, Neil Kramer, would be the quickest of a lot of them. Till the slowest bloke's on the panel down there.
Tapped down there by Troy Elsinger. He was in front on that occasion. That comes down to his rover, though. Can't get the ball back, and Alford knocks the ball towards the boundary line. Good defensive work by that player, and will be thrown in about 20 metres around from the North Geelong goal.
I've said to Rodney Stokes at umpire's training, he said, look, I've only got two paces, stop and go. So that's the way it is. The ball comes back into play. Nobody can pick the football up, but umpire Stokes has picked a free kick there out to Corio. And the boy down there, it looks like O'Toole, is it? Yes, O'Toole getting up, the captain of the side. And he wasn't too happy with the treatment he got when he was in the bottom of that pack. O'Toole goes long. Good idea, too, on a heavy ball, wet day. Goes to basically the centre of the ground. Nobody can take possession. Picked up sweetly that time by David Hayes. He gets a football up, but I think he's pitted out of bounds on the full. Yes, out of bounds on the full. Midway between the half-forward flank and the wing, out of side here at Godfrey Street.
GFL bingo scoreboard, North Geelong 1-4-10, trailing Corio 2 straight goals, 12 points.
Well, the kick was an absolute shocker, and it fell in the arms of that North Geelong player who's kicked it back into the middle of the ground looking for Drabowski, and he hasn't let him down. He's taken the mark and played on, so the wind's held that up too. Up they go, down she comes. Lovely mark taken that time by Sam Weathers, the centre half back. Weathers looks to come to the member side of the ground. He doesn't. He goes to the half forward flank. Nobody can take the football out. The umpires pay the push as Rob Tajani actually was the best one to read it, but the free kick in the meantime has gone to that Cryo player there in Brett Glenn. Glenn with the football, probably nearly midway between centre half forward and the centre of the ground. Goes up towards the true centre half forward position. Nobody can take the football, but there's been an infringement against David Hayes, and that will go to the North Geelong player there in Danny McCall.
Now, in these conditions, that the umpiring should be letting those go, but I think Paul Grosman, umpire Grosman's trying to get control of the game here, and so the players play footy.
It wasn't McCall's.
Nice shot for goal.
Adrian Kenyon, he's put it on his right boot, running towards the boundary line outside the point post. Would have been about 25 metres out. No more than 10 metres in from the boundary line from a missed kick that came out of the back line. He chipped in, read the play well, chipped in, ran across and put that straight through the centre, Chris.
And it's very good to see 14 odd blokes from the Corio side go up and congratulate him on kicking that goal, because it certainly is one of those goals that can be inspirational in catapulting you further in the game. And,
good kicking in there.
Yes, 3 straight goals, the Corio side on the GDFL bingo scoreboard, leading North Geelong 1-4-10. But as we mentioned before, Corio are kicking with the aid of the breeze. Comes down where it's picked up there in the centre of the ground by Matthew King. He kicks it from the ruck work there, but it's been marked across half back by Troy Rose, playing an excellent game on the outer side of the ground. Moves the ball back into the centre, looking for Drabowski. Drabowski goes up, taps the ball down over the shoulder there to the umpire, and Drabowski will get the free kick. The infringement was against Daniel Stranger. Drabowski moves the ball on. He goes to go to the other side of the ground, looking for Polder, but intercepting there was David Hayes from the Corio side, and he will move Corio into attack. Nice kick off the boot, up towards centre half forward. His teammate goes up in front there, couldn't take the mark with a greasy ball, tapped away by Rose towards Dragovic on that occasion. Dragovic flicks it out the back, but a free kick's been paid, and it's going back to that player formerly Corio side in Brett Glenn. Held onto by the North Geelong defence. Glenn pulls the ball up quickly now. Sends it deep up into the tapping zone for the North Geelong Corio side. Kicked out there by the defence there of Westcombe. The North Geelong kicked off the ground once again by the North Geelong defence towards the boundary line, and will go over and be thrown in on the half-forward line for the Corio side. 18 plays 10 here. First quarter, GDFL bingo scoreboard. Corio lead by 8 points. Over the back of the pack was that player in Hayes. He tapped the ball forward, but comes down now with the North Geelong defence working in hard. It's picked up by that player there in Walsh. He handballed it over to his teammate in Polder, but Polder was too slow to get rid of the ball. Well tackled on that occasion by David Hayes. It comes back, Polter working in hard once again, recovers up there, but it's picked up now by Troy Rose. He kicks it out wide towards the boundary line. Good defensive work by that player. Actually, it was Nathan Tabb, I think it was, rather than Troy Rose on that occasion. And good defensive work by that player to bring the ball to the outer side of the ground.
If anybody's sitting out there in their cars and they're wondering who is doing this call today, you can have a look on page 7 of your record and see Chris Aikman and Noel Fanning with their little dials on that page.
And commentary is brought to you on 89.1 Country FM. So
after lunch it'll be on 89.1. At the moment we're on Guest FM 94.9.
Outer side of the ground, ball went out of bounds on the full, brought back in. Corio will have the ball. The ball will be taken by Luke Shelley. Yes, it is Luke Shelley. The ball's been thrown back to him now, and he'll move Corio into attack. Does so, poor kick off the boot by that player, but it finds his teammate well. Comes out now where it's picked up by Brett Glenn now. Sends the ball up into the attacking zone for the Corio. The ball eludes both players. Going in hard there was the Corio defence. He's held onto without the footy, and I think it's going to that player in Daniel Stranger. And certainly the midfield of Corio, we thought that the midfield of North Geelong would be very handy early in this game, certainly going in hard, but the midfield of Corio certainly taking the task up to them. We see Daniel Stranger to have a shot for goal on the siren, and it would be a very handy goal to go into the second quarter if he could post another major for them. See the crowd coming onto the ground.
He's only got to put it up, hasn't he?
Yeah, he certainly does. But, as I say, they haven't been kicking well. It's a breeze, a heavy ball, but certainly the North Geelong defence come across, push the ball towards the boundary line. That's quarter time here at the Godfrey Street Oval in this grand final between North Geelong and Corio. We're on the GDFL Bingo Centre scoreboard at quarter time. Corio lead 3 straight goals, 18 points to North Geelong 1-4-10. Goal kickers for the Corio side, 1 goal each to Adrian Kenyon, Barry O'Toole and Travis West, and for the North Geelong side their single goal kicker was Andrew Drabowski.
We might just get our cameraman today, Chris. It's out of you and me to pick if we get a shot of these trophies here before we go off. It's quarter time. These trophies have to be presented to the best player on the ground. There they are there, proudly donated by Pam Glover and Mr. Glover out there at Bannockburn Sporting Trophies, David and Pam Glover, and of course the guest video glass tanking too.
Well, certainly the best player on the ground is something that every player here today should be aiming for, because if you're not putting your best foot forward, you're not really going to help your team out that much. But certainly both teams going in hard here at Godfrey Street. It is grand final, and Corio hold the slender lead of 8 points at quarter time.
1-4-10, playing Corio 3 goals. 18, 3 goals straight, 18 points, and that's brought to you by the Geelong
grand final between North Geelong and Corio in the under-18 West Coast Junior League competition, and at quarter time Corio lead North Geelong 3 goals straight, 18 points to North Geelong 1-4-10.
I think we might start the time clock this time, Chris, because Brett hit us on it in the first quarter.
There's no time on in these games. I think they play 20 minutes straight.
20 straight, is it?
20 straight, or there was 17 plus time on. I think they have a choice, but I think the clubs would like to play 20 minutes straight. But umpire Grosman throws the ball up though. Tapped away there on that occasion by Danny McCall once again, but it comes down where going in hard was Dragon. He couldn't take the ball. O'Toole goes in hard, so too does his teammate there in Alford, but I think it was the umpire calls the ball back. It's Daniel Stranger picking himself up off the bottom of the pack. Up they go again. Tapped away on that occasion by Dave Hayes. He won the ruck work there. He drives the ball up to centre half forward now. Coming up there was that player there in Glen. He couldn't take the mark though. The North Geelong defence working hard. Elzinger across half back now. Got the chance to pick the ball up. He tries to kick it off the ground, but he couldn't do so on that occasion. It wasn't Elzinger. I think it was Troy Rajani and Rob Chajani there. And anyway, the umpires come in. It lucks the fortune because his teammates butted up for him on that occasion, held the ball in, and umpire Rosman will come in and ball it up. Up they go. Jumping up there, but Hayes reads the flight of the ball well. Kicks the ball up, takes the ball out of the ruck contest, kicked off the ground there once again by that player in Travis West, but only a minor score to the Corio side. And they go a little bit further
That's
ahead.
The first point, Chris.
Yes, and it's 3-1-19 on the GDFL centre scoreboard to North Geelong 1-4-10. 9-point advantage to Corio, doing all the attacking in this early part of this second quarter. Ball kicked in, up to centre half back, and that this time Trajani takes the mark as Rob Tajani marks at centre half back. Teammates leading up the ground. He likes to go long. A nice kick off the booted up there, looking for Drabowski, but the ball goes wide of that player. Off the ground there, trying to knock the ball on was Daniel Stranger, but it was grabbed over the shoulder with Daniel Stranger, and he'll take the free kick.
I actually think it was a make-up for the kicking in danger, Chris. It was there before.
Because I didn't see it.
Well, you're right. He did play over the shoulder, but he missed the kicking in danger.
Ball comes up to centre half forward. His teammate couldn't mark there in Joel Musty. It's picked up by Hayes now, playing well in the ruck for the Corio side, up towards O'Toole. And O'Toole stands his ground on that occasion. And Barry O'Toole?
Yeah, something special about the O'Toole boys, isn't there? They can play football.
Certainly kept his eyes on the footy on that occasion, didn't take him off, and he held his ground and the mark. And Barry O'Toole moves Corio deep into their attacking zone. No one could mark up there. I think it has been marked, but
by the North Geelong boys.
North Geelong player there. And I can't pick up who it is, but a strong mark by that player in front of, I think it was Luke Anderson, or was it Joel Hayes up there, the co-captain for the Corio side. Oh, he looks to go across the face of goal, looking for his teammate there in in from North Geelong, but it comes out now to the half-back flank. Drabowski gets in front, knocked off the footy on that occasion, kicked off the ground there by the North Geelong defence towards the boundary line. They run back onto it again. They've got the numbers at the footy. It comes back over where that player, once again in Tajani, moves the ball to the centre wing. Players from both sides going in hard towards the boundary line. It's pushed over by the Corio defence there in Luke Shelley, and will be thrown in on centre wing right in front of our commentary box here at the Godfrey Street Oval.
See, Luke's certainly got his hair red. Doesn't he?
Has.
Do you reckon that's natural?
Tapped down by Drabowski, comes down to Polder. He's tackled and thrown into the ground by that player in Shelley.
He's going to ball it up though, Chris.
The umpire will come in and bounce it up because the ball was held to him.
Do you agree with that?
Oh, I think he should let the play go a little bit, the umpire, but on that occasion he didn't. Click two. Anyway, Hayes goes up. But both players missed the ball on that occasion, but Hayes was quick to get the handball out. It comes out to the running player of Adam Walsh now. Drives North Geelong up into their attacking zone, but being in front there was that player in Matthew King for the Corio side, and he will steady the attacking thrust of the North Geelong team.
Didn't think he was going to pay that.
Well, I didn't think so either, but you know, they're paying the easy ones, and I think the umpires are trying to get control in this game because both teams are renowned for their physical presence. But the ball's come up to centre half back. It's picked up there and handballed off there by Gavin and Warren. He handballs it over to Drabowski. Drabowski has a flying shot for goal, but only another minor score to the North Geelong side, and moves on a little bit closer to the Corio score as on the GDFL Bingo Centre scoreboard. North Geelong are 1-5-11, trailing Corio, who are 3-1-19. And Corio certainly holding the North Geelong team up at this present stage. North Geelong not handling the conditions as well as the Corio boys.
34 just came on for North Geelong and Daniel Gibbs, and off the ground the boy with the ponytail. Who was that, Chris? I missed him.
Couldn't pick him up either there, Noel. So the pull back to the Corio side, goes long, up towards centre half back, but over the back of the pack and taking a nice mark there is Bob Manusson. He moves the ball on quickly, sees Drabowski up the centre half forward, he drops the mark, picked up there by that player in King, drives it towards the boundary line. Good defensive work there to get it out of that zone, and Matthew King directed the ball towards the boundary line, has trickled over and will be thrown in. Still about 40 or 50 metres around from North Geelong's goal, but Corio certainly holding that attacking thrust up of the North Geelong side. Comes down where we see that player there, drives the ball up for the North Geelong side, comes over towards, and umpire's picked out a free kick here, and it goes against the North Geelong player there and will be taken by Matthew King in the last line of defence for the Corio side. In the ruck in the first quarter, resting in the back line in the second quarter. Drives the ball up onto the centre wing, onto the half forward, the half back zone, picked up by O'Toole. Nice pick up by that player. Not too many players running in to tackle that player from Corio. Comes up there where we see the Corio boy there in Ricky Lazarich control of footy, but he's held onto it too long, and it will go against that player and will be taken by the North Geelong player over there on the other side of the ground. I can't pick up who it is. Not being familiar with too many of the names here, but he drives the ball up looking for Poulter. The two players fly together, but Poulter's taken the mark. And
we sport one another, Chris.
They certainly did, and that player that flew with him was Troy Elzinger. Poulter's been asked to play on by the umpire. He gets around both of his opposition opponents there on that occasion. He drives the ball up long. It's picked up there by that player there in Adam Walsh. He couldn't get the ball up to his teammates. The ball's obviously heavy and slippery, but Corio defence working hard in there with O'Toole and King. And also we see that Brent Rutherford pick himself up off the bottom of the pack there, and will be thrown up 20 metres out from North Geelong's goal. Up they go. Drabowski gets the tap down, goes out towards O'Toole. He tries to force the ball out wide, but the umpire's picked a free kick out here, and it's going to O'Toole. And the Corio boys settling one another down. They're not getting upset by or frustrated in this play with the heavy pressure that's going on. A good kick by that player in O'Toole. Drives it up towards the centre wing. Up there, Luke Anderson couldn't pick up the ball on this occasion, but his teammate comes in. Luke Anderson gets the ball now. His kick smothered off the boot. Comes back into the centre of the ground though. Only North Geelong players there. Troy Rose sends the ball up to where O'Toole holds his ground. He couldn't take the mark. The umpire's paid a few of those early ones.
You'd pay that, wouldn't you?
Yeah, he should have, but he's now paid the free kick.
Make up?
I think so, but O'Toole was lying on the ground, but he's certainly not hurt.
Barry, Chris, Barry's the ugly one. You're the good-looking one. This boy has played a lot of senior football this year for Corio.
Well, he's probably the brother of Mark and Mick, is he?
He is, yes. And your cousin of Ricky, the one that plays at St Joseph's.
Oh, right. So there's a fair bit of talent in that family, isn't
there? Yeah. The breeding's there for football.
But the ball from Barry O'Toole went to the half-back line. It was marked by that player in King. He drives it up towards centre wing position. Coming in hard underneath.
Look at the
Walsh
water.
again, but he tries to flick the ball out. The Corio boys coming quickly again. They kick the ball up to the half-forward line. Coming in is Tajani. Goes hard and goes long into the centre of the ground. Up there looking for his teammate. He drops the mark in Elzinger. Not handling the football well as Troy Elzinger. It comes up to the half-forward line. Was knocked forward by North Geelong. Kicked up by Drabowski. Handballs over the top to Walsh. He couldn't hold the ball. Pushed into the ground though, and I think he's got a free kick because he was just nudged by the elbow at the last minute, and Paul Grosman was quick to pick that up just as I was, and remonstrated that that Corio player had used the elbow just to nudge that player forward, and we'll see Adam Walsh from about 40 metres out.
Just about kick that, wouldn't you?
Oh, I don't know whether he will, because they're not.
The ball will be heavy there, wouldn't it?
Certainly would.
Yeah.
And these players aren't getting a lot of distance with their kicks, even though some of the more stronger players are. But Adam Walsh will send North Geelong deep into attack.
Yeah.
Nice kick right off the boot up towards the 10 metre square. Punched away by the Corio defence. It comes down where we see that player there.
Again.
Wes Large have a flying shot for goal, but I think it's only 1 point, is it? Yes, 1 point only registered from that kick.
He couldn't do what the Corio boy wearing the number 9 jumper did in the first quarter and kick one from there.
I think he was on a more acute angle.
Yeah, he probably was a bit close to the band of it. Yeah.
He was a little bit closer into goal too, so he didn't have that bit of extra space.
As we see, coming off the ground for Corio is Ricky Lazarick, and coming on to take his place is Greg Foran.
But Corio lead 3-1-19 to North Geelong 1-5-11, and that score is on the GDFL Bingo Centre scoreboard. The ball kicked in now by the fullback from Corio, punched on.
Good work.
Played by that player.
Yeah.
It's travelled 20 metres further afield, comes down where O'Toole tries to pick up the ball, couldn't do so, but kicked on towards the path of Daniel Stranger. He couldn't pick up the ball though, he slapped it towards the boundary line. Good defensive work there by the Corio boys, and it'll be thrown in on the outer side of the ground, centre wing position. Corio certainly are taking this contest up to the North Geelong side, certainly not being overawed by the fact that, you know, they've not beaten this team all year.
Mark Walsh has been taken off for North Geelong, and Steve Westcombe has come on to take his place, and they look like they're going to make another interchange as we see Jamie Weiss warming up for North Geelong.
Free kick was paid out of that ruck contest to the North Geelong player there. He drives it right up long, up there into the forward line, but coming across there once again working hard was the Corio defence. Comes out where Sam Weathers is working hard in there. He got the footy now, he puts it onto his boot. It comes out towards the wing position now. Half forward line picking up with Dragovic. He couldn't control the footy, he was hotly pressured on that occasion. Picked up there by his teammate Gibbs. Gibbs sends the ball a little bit closer and has trickled over the boundary line, and we've thrown in about 30 metres around from the North Geelong. Well, it's actually pretty close to the 50 metre line. I can see the white line there, is it?
Yeah, you're right. Very good.
About 50 metre line.
Easy to see from a height, isn't it, Chris?
It certainly is. We see Drabowski to do the ruck work. Drabowski in front, but it goes over the top of his head. Comes out there where the Corio boys clear up towards the wing position. It's marked there by player there in Nathan Tab. He drives the ball up to centre half forward. Over
too
the
high.
There.
Bad luck,
Over
Barry.
the shoulder was Wes Large, and he will shoot for goal from about 40 metres out. And I think this guy might be able to make the distance.
Yeah, a bit stronger, isn't he? Yeah, bigger fella. That was just a bit of bad luck from Barry O'Toole. Went to tackle, and the tackle was just a little bit high. No.
Didn't see the launch into the kick, did he? But
there's a free kick to Jamie Hutchinson, I'd say.
And for being in front. And that's certainly what you've got to do in the defensive area, and also if you're kicking into the breeze, be in front, and you're going to get more percentage of the free kicks than if you're behind.
Yeah.
We're playing the percentage game, the Corio boys, and they're taking it, like I say, they're taking it right up to North Geelong. They're holding him up in this quarter because North Geelong are kicking with the aid of the breeze.
Yeah. I tell you what, he hasn't paid that free kick. I don't think.
I think he has. He's waiting for the footy to come back.
He got flattened over this side of the square and he took him right round over there. That can't be right.
No, the guy's standing on the mark, on the goal line.
So number 10's taking the kick. Jamie Weiss.
No, the 23 I think it is for North
Well, it was Jamie Hutchinson who got flattened. No, I reckon he's going to kick it in. I reckon.
There's no goalpost wave. Anyway, Matthew Wynne's got the ball. He sends it up to centre half back, and it's again. Where's Large?
Well, I've got to tell you, I reckon that was a North Geelong free kick. Did you see it the umpire's way too?
What? Which one?
That last free kick in the goal square.
No, it was a Corio free kick because he was in front.
Fair enough.
Where's Large is driving the drip. He's launched into this one this time.
Oh, you don't mind. Thank you very much, umpire.
He measured the kick well on that occasion because the first time he went in, you might recall I said that he didn't actually launch into the kick as if he wanted to make the distance. But on this occasion he wasn't any further out, and he certainly put boot to all a little bit solider. And a goal on the scoreboard to the North Geelong boys, and through Wes Large.
Might be 2-6 too, Chris.
And North Geelong
2-6.
trail Corio, who are 3-1-19. 1 point the difference here at the Godfrey Street Oval in this grand final of the West Coast Junior League between North Geelong and Corio. Back in the centre of the ground. Grabowski's not playing a bad role in the air. He's got his confidence up, the young boy, and he certainly will see whether he does the ruck work on this occasion.
SVDA crew, Chris Aikman and yours truly, Noel Fang, doing the commentary. Cameraman technicians are Brett Revere and Dean Bushell.
The free kick's been picked up against the North Geelong side for 2 minutes in the centre square.
Rod Stakes is the policeman on this occasion, Chris.
And David Hayes will move the free kick. Take the free kick up, picks it up to half forward, but poor kick off the boot of that player. Picked up there by the North Geelong player, sends it up to the half forward line. Players from both sides going in hard at ground level now, picked up there by the North Geelong boy, dispossessed. Once again, the umpire says, give it to me and I'll bounce it up. Midway between the centre of the ground and the centre half forward position into North Geelong's attacking zone. Thrown up there, slapped away there by that player in David Hayes. Goes out towards the boundary line. Players racing for the ball there, but it'll beat the Corio boy and Ricky Lazarich over the boundary line before he can gather in the ball, and it'll be thrown in. About half forward line for the North Geelong side. We've been playing 14 minutes of this second quarter. Tap down there by that player there in Luke Shelley. Taps it back towards the boundary line. Flick out the back there by the North Geelong players there. It's picked up. He's running towards goal. He's dispossessed though at the last minute was that player there.
Ooh.
Underneath the bottom of the pack. I think it was Adam Walsh. But players from both sides going in a bit physical on him. On that occasion he got belted around the ears, but he's not feeling too well. Nevertheless, he didn't have many teammates around him telling him he could kick the ball. Up they go. Grabowski taps the ball forward, over the shoulders.
He didn't even see it. Oh, no, Stokesy, you've mucked it up.
Yeah, certainly did on that occasion, and Grabowski's going to get the free kick. And I think this boy is playing well.
Fire, Noel. Good, mate. Yeah, we're right.
I think the way this guy lines up, he's a left footer, so he won't miss.
Oh, were you a left footer, Chris?
Yeah.
Yeah, that'll be right. All left footers stick together.
No, he's actually a right footer.
Oh, he's gone low. Oh, touched, I'd say, yes.
But
it slipped, I think, as he kicked it.
Certainly did, and like I say, they're not really getting the kick up, their feet up when they're lifting that. They're not lifting that foot up so that they can get the bit of distance out of their kicks. But another minor score, and I think that ties everything up here in this grand final. North Geelong and Corio. North Geelong 2-7-19, Corio 3-1-19. Ball brought back in. Up towards half-back, the player from Corio up in front. Paid the mark or the free kick in Alford. And this, I think, his first kick for this second quarter. Alford moves the ball to the centre wing position. Up they go. Player couldn't take the mark in O'Toole. Comes over the back. North Geelong moves the ball forward. Up there, and the player there taking a diving mark was Adam Walsh. But it was over the boundary line on the full, and it's 50 metres because he didn't throw the ball back directly to that Corio player. And he threw it to his teammate, and Paul Grosman, or Stokes, was quick to pick that up.
Like everybody does our guy ropes, Chris. He could end up out in the wet, out in the middle of the oval.
Well, we're pretty solid up here. Car blows over, we're gone.
Well, if the car blows over, we've got to pull the car behind us because we're tied down to the car behind us.
Alford moves the ball up to the half-forward line. Taking a strong mark there is Danny McCall. Big fella for the North Geelong side. Moves the ball across.
Good vision.
Back. Good switch there, and he finds his teammate Troy Elzinger. Marks cleanly on that occasion. A poor kick, but he puts it out to the run of his teammate there. North Geelong got the numbers here at the football. They've got 4 players there, but overrunning the football there was that player there in Manson. He drives the ball now into the centre of the ground. Up there looking for Elzinger again. Butters up for his teammate. Gets hold of the footy. Handballs it off. Westcombe couldn't take the ball. And deemed to be in possession there. And they're umpiring pretty tiggy touchwood stuff here in this grand final. But the kick's taken by Alford. He moves the ball up towards his teammate on the half-forward flank. Alford overruns the footy. Kicked off the ground there by the North Geelong wing player there. Comes back towards Alford. He's knocked off the footy on this occasion. Corio tried to move the ball with tunnel fashion underneath the pack there. Picked up once again by Danny McCall. He sees Poulter out there wide.
Good body.
Good body on body in that contest. He knocked him off the footy. And he's been deemed to be over the shoulder there, and Matthew Poulter will take the free kick against that player, and I think it was Matthew Ryder on that occasion. Ball from Poulter, driven up towards the half-forward line. Driving for the mark there was Wes Large. He couldn't take it, but he got it off to Dragovic. Dragovic sends the ball up to the half-forward line. Coming across there was King, though. Good, strong work by that player. Sends the ball, switches the play to the outer side of the ground. Over there looking for the big ruckman in Hayes, but the ball's going to be too quick to the boundary line for him, and be thrown in on the outer side of the ground. GFL Bingo Centre scoreboard. North Geelong 2-7-19, Corio 3-1-19, and we've been playing 17.5 minutes of this second quarter. Over the back of the pack, King knocks the ball down. It comes down with a slap forward there by the North Geelong players, but once again it's only gone over the boundary line and will be thrown in. All tied up here in this grand final. Good contest between both sides. Up they go. Call taps the ball down over the back of the pack, kicked off the ground there by that player in Troy Rose. It only comes towards the defensive area there for the Corio boys, but they muscle the ball into the centre of the ground now. Players from both sides trying to soccer it off the ground, but it comes out to Polter from a handball now. Polter drives it long, up into deep into the forward zone. It's gone over the boundary line and on the full, and I think the free kick will be taken over there in the last line of defence by Matthew King.
You see King in the back pocket, hard up against the point post, brings the ball back to the half-back flank. Up they go. Oh, no one can take the mark. The ball actually came right out the back of the pack. As we see, sweeping on it for North Geelong was Nathan Tabb. He kicks the ball into the true centre half-forward position. Nobody can pick it up. Held for mine that time was at Andrew Drabowski, but he gets the football across to his teammate. And I tell you what, he's put that straight through the middle, and that was... I didn't pick him up because when he kicked the football, he slipped and landed up on his backside, and I couldn't get his number, but I can see.
It's Troy Elzinger, is it?
I tell you what, I think he could be right. He's running back to the centre there, isn't he?
It's Troy Elzinger, I think, to kick the goal.
And he's been a good footballer for the North. He's played a bit of senior football too, Troy.
Yeah, but it was good play there by Andrew Drabowski. Once again, he picked the ball up and saw his teammate just out in the corner of his eye running forward towards goal, and he got the handball over to him. And good play by that player in Andrew Drabowski, and he's certainly a live wire across half forward for North Geelong.
Well, I'll tell you what, this is a bit of a turn-up so far. That takes North Geelong on to 3 goals, 7-25 on the GDFL bingo scoreboard, leading Corio, who are 3 goals, 1-19. 1 goal the difference in favour of North Geelong.
Up they go. The ball knocked away.
Oh, hit him in the face.
Occasion by David Hayes. It comes back towards, it's kicked off the ground there by Alford, but it comes back. We see Matthew Ryder kick the ball hurriedly, and it's been marked by his teammate, only 10 metres away, and he will move them forward. That player there was Joel Musty. Drives it up to the centre half forward position. No player can mark there. Trying North Geelong defence going hard. Picked up by O'Toole. Sends it long.
Tell you what, didn't he get that to his boot quick?
Certainly did, but only a minor score to the Corio boys. We see the player running up the wing here in Nathan Tabb. He's right out wide. The full back didn't see him. I don't think he's still seen him. But anyway, the North Geelong player elects to go long. Clears to the half-back flank. Up there looking for Drabowski. Goes up over the back of the pack. There was Luke Anderson. He punched the ball away. Kicked off the ground though. Comes up towards centre wing there. Corio boys pick the ball up. And hurry kick off that player's boots. Marked by Nathan Tabb. And the player there from Corio to kick the ball there was Keith Stoko. But half-time here in the grand final of the West Coast Junior League game between North Geelong and Corio. We're at half-time. North Geelong lead 3-7-25. Lee Corio 3-2-20. Goal kickers for the Corio side. Adrian Kenyon, Barry O'Toole and Travis West all have 1 each. And for the North Geelong side, we have goal kickers to Wes Large, Andrew Drabowski and also Troy Elzinger.
Better players for mine that half, bearing in mind that we've got to pick the Bannockburn Sporting Trophies and guest video best player award for the grand final. I like Danny McCall's work for North Geelong. Also Andrew Drabowski and Rob Tarjani I think have played well for Corio. Joel Hayes started off well and probably halfway through that quarter he faded out of it, but I still think he's played a fair game for them. And Bazza O'Toole, the co-captain of the side, I think he's been a good battler for them, as has Joel Hayes. Chris, what do you think?
Yeah, I certainly agree with you there, Noel. The other player for Corio I thought's been doing two players that are doing an excellent job. David Hayes, the ruckman, and Matthew King in the last line of defence has certainly been playing very well down there. But as you said, and Daniel Strange is the other one around the centre of the ground, certainly been in the thick of things early in the game. In that quarter he might have gone out a little bit, but as you said, Barry O'Toole certainly showing the way, being the co-captain of the North Geelong, the Corio side. And the North Geelong players, I agree wholeheartedly with your summary there.
Okay, we'll be back directly with the second half of the West Coast Junior Football League Grand Final between Corio and North Geelong.
Final quarter of football here. The West Coast Junior Football League Under-18 Grand Final between North Geelong and Corio on the Geelong District Football League Bingo Centre scoreboard. At half-time, North Geelong 3-7-25. Going for a championship, leading Corio 3-2-20. Chris, who are you going for?
I think Corio might get up and cause a major upset here, but ball tapped away by Hayes there, but it's picked up there by Dragovic. Dragovic drives the ball to the wing position, but it's mucked over here by the number 3 Guernsey and Joel Hayes, the co-captain for the Corio side. He moves the ball into the half-forward line. Over the back of the pack was that player there from Corio, couldn't take the mark. Kicked off hurriedly by the North Geelong defence. It comes out now to, once again, Joel Hayes, but he puts it onto his boot there hurriedly and over the boundary line on the full. And the free kick will be taken by the North Geelong defender.
Good pressure from Matt Armstrong there from North Geelong. And you got congratulations, pat on the head from Jamie Wise too, and so he should have, because he put Joel Hayes under pressure to put out a bounce on the floor.
Chipped in from that kick and it finds his teammate there in
Jamie Hutchison.
Jamie Hutchison comes up now where it's been marked by Matthew Poulter. Chipping the ball around now to the North Geelong, retaining position. It's good footy. Hurried kick by that player there, up towards the wing position. Kicked off the ground there by Alford. Comes it in hard. Umpire Grosman picks out a free kick and it's going to the Corio player there in Luke Anderson on centre wing. And I didn't see what that was for. Did you know?
He was held without the football. That's what umpire Grossman said.
Anyway, ball down up to the half-forward line. Poulter drops the mark, picks the ball up, handballs it out, comes out to Alford. Alford hurried kick on his boot up towards the forward line. O'Toole overruns the footy, comes back there. Player picking up Jamie Hutchison, gets control of the footy, runs over the boundary line. Free kick's been paid.
Too high against O'Toole.
O'Toole. Hutchison, he's got to kick over his man on the mark. There's that player there in the last line of defence for North Geelong. Who's the ball now? Touch off the boot there by O'Toole. Up towards that player there. Travis West couldn't get control of it. Now he does. Comes back to him. Kicks it on up towards the forward line up there. No North Corio players there at this stage. Picked up by the defence of the North Geelong players. Comes out there. The Corio player there couldn't get control of it. Kicked off the ground now by Danny McCall. Comes up to the centre half back position. Kicked off the ground there also by Brett Glenn. But the North Geelong defence is rock solid, and Drabowski kicks the ball up back into the centre of the ground there. Coming through hard was Joel Hayes though. Picks the ball up. He gets caught.
Was it Milk?
Slapped over there, and Matt J was held when he got rid of it. After he got rid of it, and Joel Hayes will actually drive Corio back into attack. Elect to go long. Does so. Goes long. Sees the lead of his teammate out there, but Matthew Poulter chipping across, takes the mark at half back, plays on quickly now, moves the ball over towards the wing where he sees his teammate there in Brendan Cole, and Brendan Cole marks the ball, handballs it quickly over to Elzinger. Elzinger's forced to knock the ball over. The player pulling his head in there was Troy Rose, but he knocks the ball forward, and pushing the ball further forward was Brendan Cole there on that occasion. But,
Troy Rose did one of my golf shots, Chris.
He certainly did, and I think that...
he missed the ball completely.
Yeah, he certainly did. But anyway, it's half-forward line for North Geelong. Corio have taken them right up to him in this game. Punched off by Hayes. Good ruck work there. Comes out the back there. It's picked up now. The Corio boy trying to force his way through. It's slapped along the ground there by Troy Elzinger. But so too was pushed along the ground there by Adrian Kenyon. And it's gone over the boundary line. And it'll be thrown in on centre wing just to the left of our commentary box here.
Matthew Poulter here, mate, holding his agates. Must have got one below the belt.
Knocks the ball on, does Matthew Poulter. Running onto the football now, kicking it off the ground was Adam Walsh, though. Comes across to the half-forward position for the North Geelong side. Forced out there by that player there in Wes Large. Couldn't get it on. Both players from both teams trying to knock it on. It's picked up there by that player there from the Matthew Ince. He drives the ball to the half-back flank, but it's picked up now by North Geelong. Handball over to Troy Elzinger. Gets a hurried kick on his left boot, but coming out solidly there was the Corio defender. He pushed the ball over the boundary line, and a free kick's been paid to that player for over the shoulder, and the Corio defender will clear for their side.
Geez.
That player up now again. It's Matthew Ince again.
Troy Elzinger reads the play well, doesn't he?
He certainly does, and he's not a bad player, is Troy Elzinger, and Matthew Poulter is not such a bad player at all either, and he's taken a mark on that occasion. He drives the ball across the centre half forward. Picking the ball up was Alan Walsh. He sees a lead from his teammate running out wide there with Jamie Weiss. He comes across now, but the ball beats him over the boundary lines and skids over the line and will be thrown in Outer side of the ground, half forward line for the North Geelong side. They're doing most of the attacking in this passage of play. Thrown in, Poulter's got the front position, so too is Hayes. Punch forward, comes out now at the back of the pack there. We see running onto it for the North Geelong side there in Adam Walsh. Couldn't flick the ball out there on that occasion. Flicked off there by the Adrian Kenyon for the Corio side. Comes out now, we see a player from Corio move the ball up to the half forward line. Over the back of the pack it goes. It beats that player in Travis West. It comes over now where Joel Hayes runs onto it. He's tackled very well there on that occasion by Jamie Hutchison. Comes out the back. Joel Hayes has got the football again. He pushes it forward but kicked off the ground there by the North Geelong defence. Comes out to the half-back flank, picking the ball up there with Nathan Tabb. Got the run of the footy now, drives it towards the wing position. Not many teammates in support there. It's good work to go to the boundary line, and it'll be thrown in on centre wing.
I'll tell you what, the players won't skin their knees on the hard cricket wicket this day, will they?
No.
So the ball brought back into play right on the centre wing. Good tap out. Running onto the football that time was Brendan Cole. He was dispossessed. Going in hard again was Cole. Handball straight up in the air by Drabowski. Nobody can take possession of it. Kicked off the ground. In they go again hard in Dragovic. He's on the hands and knees there. And the ball's kicked down, but it's to be marked that time by that North Geelong player in Bob Manuson. Thank you very much. He kicks it into the ground. Look at his teammate there, Matthew Poulter. Poulter doesn't let him down, goes to centre half forward. Ball spilt that time by Daniel Gibbs on his hands and knees. Picked up by Corio through the agency of the big fella there, but only to be blocked off by Rob Tarjani by the look of it. Kick the ball out wide into the lake out there. I can't pick him up out there, Chris. I'll have to let you take over.
Anyway, the umpire's caught play on there on this occasion. It comes up where it's picked up by Troy Rose. He handballs it long, sends it long.
Dumped after he got rid of the football
by the North Geelong player up there. It comes up where we see North Geelong carry the ball over the boundary line. It's only about 20 metres around from their goal. And the ball was moved very slickly there by the North Geelong players there.
Jamie Hutchison was dumped after he got rid of that one, but the umpire didn't see it that way.
Anyway, ball's thrown in. Up they go. Guy in front of the pack there was Jamie Weiss. Knocked the ball towards the boundary line. There's a free kick being paid, and I think it's going to North Geelong. It is. And it's being taken by Matthew Poulter, who's been in everything in this third quarter and certainly playing to the capabilities that everybody knows he's capable of. I think he's had about 7 or 8 possessions in this quarter.
Poulter?
Yeah, certainly
he's
has.
playing well. I reckon he's shaping up to be BAG, mate.
Well, he is. I think he is at the present time, but he's certainly the way he was playing in the first half. That's why I picked Corio basically, because I thought they had him manned up well, but they've let themselves down in this quarter. No, it's only a minor score off the boot there of Matt Poulter. And North Geelong move a little bit further ahead. They're 3-8-26, leading Corio 3-2-20. Ball comes in from that kick out at the half back, but it's marked over there by Wes Large, and he moves on quickly. Sees his teammate out wide in Poulter and marks. I don't know why he went out that way, but he didn't mark it, he's dropped it. And it'll be thrown in, outer side of the ground, half forward flank, for the North Geelong side. Don't know why he went in that direction in the first place.
Me baffled too.
Ball's thrown in, Poulter goes up, taps the ball forward. Hurried kick by that Corio player, smothered, comes out now. It's flicked out of the back of the pack, picking the ball up was Large. Couldn't get the footy out. The umpire's forced to come in and bounce it up. 10 metres inside the boundary line. 26 plays 20. 1 goal of difference here. Third quarter of this game, grand final between Corio and North Geelong. Kicked off the ground. Big scrambly football at the present time.
Louis. This is the sort of weather you'd like to do a run up the middle of the ground with. And I reckon there'd be a bloke by the name of Diamond who'd like to challenge you, wouldn't there be?
Thrown in now, once again on centre wing. The umpires picked a free kick out here, and I think it's going to David Hayes, the ruckman for the Corio side. Outside of the ground. Nice kick off the boot, that play up towards his captain in O'Toole. Couldn't pick the ball up. Trying to take the ball through there was Daniel Stranger, who couldn't get control of the footy there. Comes out now, his umpire's called play on. Cryer drive it long into attack up towards Joel Hayes. He's over the back of the pack. He's got a chance if he gets it onto his boot here. But he can't get, so hotly pursued there by two defenders.
Had nobody back helping him, Chris.
By Nathan Tabb. He clears to the half-back flank for his side. Out towards the outer side of the ground there. It is at half-back. The player lying over the ball there, but the umpire says it's been held into him on that occasion. It's the Corio boys appeal for the free kick. And umpire Grossman on this occasion will come in and throw the ball up. Throws it up. Up they go. The big fella there in Danny McCall knocks the ball down, but goes to his teammate there. Kicks the ball up to centre wing position. Coming across there over the back of the pack was that player there in Wes Large, but the umpires picked out another free kick. And
that's the boy with the hair dyed red.
Is it?
Yeah.
Anyway, he's got the football.
Shelley. Luke Shelley.
To the half-forward flank. No player can mark the ball. It comes down to ground level. Picked up now by Hutchison. Drives it out towards the wing, the half-back flank. Picked up there by Drabowski. Handballs it off when he was pressured. Kicked off the ground there by Elzinger. Players for both sides going in hard. Scrambling down. The umpires picked out a free kick. And it's going to the North Geelong player there. And I think it is Troy Elzinger. Sends the ball up to the wing position. Up in front, that pack was
good
mark. Wes Large, and a strong mark by that player.
That's a good mark on a day like this, Chris.
It certainly is. And he had his body in front all the time on that occasion and held his ground well, but coming across there and taking a fine mark with Matthew King, moves the ball into the centre of the ground, switches the play. Over the back of the pack was his teammate there in Stranger. He couldn't get control.
Shepherd, you got to shepherd for your teammate.
Where it's spilled free, where it's been picked up there by Brendan Husker. He handballs it over to his teammate Bob Manusson and sends it up to the half-forward line. It's come out to where we see his teammate over there in Brendan Cole get control of the footy, kicks the ball up to his teammate there in Delzinger. He gets hotly pursued there.
Well,
I think he's held onto the ball too long on that occasion. And the free kick will go to the Corio side. And they will relieve the pressure momentarily.
As we see umpire Grossman hand the play over now to Stokes. Anyway, North Geelong kicked the ball back into centre half forward. As we see standing his ground there was that Corio boy there in Luke Anderson. He kicked the ball out the half back flank. Nobody else can pick the football up. Coming through strongly was McCall, gets it into the centre of the ground, crashing through, slipping onto his knees. Dangerous ploy in this weather. Stacks on the mill as we see the boys slide through the lake, and we see umpire Rodney Stokes pick out a free kick, and that's going to go the Corio lad's way there, and he's going to go bang, and that's the idea. That's the idea of the afternoon. Kick the ball long. Nobody can take the football. Jamie Hutchison can, though. He butters up. Goes onto his right foot, kicks it up to the wing. Good shepherding that time as we see the number 15 Guernsey shaping up Matthew Poulter to be BAG, but he's fluffed this one. He's mucked it right up, and Rod Stokes says, give it to me, boys, and we'll have a bounce on just off the centre there towards the members' side wing here at Godfrey Street. And that could have gone either way, Chris.
Yeah, Ricky Lazarich was certainly very rock solid in defensive area there. He held up Matthew Poulter, but the ball comes out from that ruck contest straight down the throat of Poulter. He drives the ball up to the half-forward line. Coming out across there was Alfred Pacroy. He drives the ball to the boundary line, and he had no team options up forward and was forced to kick wide. And it's trickled over midway between the centre wing and the half-forward position for the North Geelong side. And I think Matthew Poulter's been in everything this quarter. He's had 9 possessions.
This quarter?
Yes.
Well, that's a fair effort in these conditions. As we see a handball come out that time from Luke Anderson. He gets it back to his teammate. He taps it on wisely. Can't do anything with it. Poulter kicks it off the ground. Goes through. Shepherds. Allows his teammate there in Mark Dragovic. And he can't do anything with it. He puts it up onto the club rims here at Thompson Football Ground. And we see the Corio boys will take the penalty free kick for being out of bounds on the full. The ball's been driven up the half-forward line. Good fist on the football. Nobody can take it. Kicked off the ground that time by Poulter again. Another possession, Chris. That time 21 for the side. Andrew Drabowski also playing well for them. Can't be picked up by Brendan Cole. Everybody overruns the football, but umpire Paul Grossman has plucked out a free kick, and he's given one right at centre half back to the Corio lads. That ball's been kicked out to the far wing as we see David Hayes take the football, and he's on the outer wing here at Corio. He's going to go to the true centre half forward position. Gets a good lead from his teammate there in Brett Glenn. Glenn hasn't let him down either, and he's taken a good solid one grab on conditions like this. I consider that to be a good day because that ball would be slippery and as heavy as a brick. Up they go. Nobody can take the football. Centre half forward. Barry O'Toole's down there now. He's been ridden into the ground for mine, but Basher made no effort to get rid of it as we see North Geelong clear the football. Comes out to where we see player dealt with after the play and could have gone against that time against Poulter. As we see, the football's gone out of bounds down there on the half-forward flank for the Corio side. The umpire's going to bring the football back into play. Bit of pushing and shoving there. Over the back was Big Hayes. He gets the football down, coming through strongly with the North Geelong defence, and they're still defending strongly as there's been a good kick off the ground, and he's brought it round towards halfway between the wing and the half-forward flank, and that is the Troy Rose from North Geelong.
Ball will be thrown in over the back of the pack. We see Hayes, but he couldn't get the tap out on that occasion. Trabowski did. He put pressure on that player and Ricky Lazarus. The ball's knocked free towards the boundary line now. Players from both sides going in hard at ground level, but it's forced over the boundary line and will be thrown in. And for mine, Ricky, the player Barry O'Toole is not been on the ball, and I think he's a waste up in that forward line.
Totally agree with you. Very good, coach.
Tap the ball over the back of the pack. Comes out to that player there in Joel Musty. It's up in the direction now of O'Toole, but it comes over the back of the pack. The players from North Geelong rushing forward. It's kicked off the ground by Corio, but only over the line and only 1 point. I think it was gone over the boundary line. It's hit the boundary post and will be thrown in. And right into the attacking zone for the Corio side. Must score at with this effort, as we've been playing midway through this third quarter. Thrown in now. Over the back of the pack was the player there in Musty. Couldn't get the ball out though. Players from both sides. O'Toole underneath the pack trying to win the free kick, but he won't get the free kick without sort of... And there's a free kick being played against O'Toole. Oh, it's going to O'Toole. Oh, there's a player there, Jamie Hutchison, undisciplined play in that occasion. And...
too high, said Stokes.
Well, he's actually, the umpire said he was going to ball it up, but...
Will you keep up with the play, you blokes?
Let Barry Walker and Ron Brown. There's a couple of renegades.
As we see, Jamie Hutchison.
Do you worry about us? This is Bazak O'Toole having a shot.
And Barry O'Toole from 10 metres out has the chance to tie the game up here.
Yeah, bloody up.
Beautiful.
Comes in, 10 metres out, he puts it on its way, it's a goal, don't worry about that. And for mine, you know, he shouldn't be in the goal square, he should be where the action is at the present time, because he'd be more serviceable there. And on that occasion, like, he was underneath the pack, but it was in the forward line, but certainly the opportunities, he's been starved of those at the present stage. And as the GDFL Bingo Centre scoreboard, the game is tied up here in the third quarter. North Geelong 3-8-26, Corio 4-2-26.
And that's 2 of the 4 goals to Barry O'Toole, Chris.
Yes, it certainly is, and I'd like to see him in the play a little bit more. I think
I'd give him a run on the ball now. He's just kicked another goal. He's done some hard work down there. Put him on the ball. He's pumped up.
Hayes gets the tap down, flicked out now out towards Elzinger. Elzinger goes up forward, looking for large. He can run onto the footy on this occasion. He does so. He breaks free of the tackle. He has a shot for goal, and he does so. And it's a nice goal there off the boot of that player there in Large. Wes Large is his second goal, and he replies quickly to that goal that was kicked by Corio at the other end, and that puts them in front by that solitary margin as North Geelong 4-8-32 lead Corio 4-2-26.
And that's brought to you proudly by the Geelong District Football League Bingo Centre.
Might be putting some fresh legs into.
Oh, they should have had O'Toole in there. Then they would have stopped that.
They possibly should have, but we see the big.
You've got me going on him now.
Matthew King and David Hayes in the centre of the ground. I'd be using Matthew King. He's certainly got a bit better leap than David at the moment, but he sort of gets the ball. He handed the ball on that occasion. No, flicks it out. It comes out the back. Dragovic overruns the football. Held from the player there by North Geelong. Not paid by the umpire. It comes out now. It's flicked out the back. It's picked up by Alford. Tries to get it onto his boot, but the umpire forced to come in and bounce it up once again. There's a player that needs to sort of lift his side a little bit in Alford at the present time. Alan Alford could be doing a little bit more, I think. Ball comes out, kicked off the ground there by the North Geelong player in Matt Armstrong. Goes out towards the wing position. Picked up there by Rose now. Gets the handball over the
top. In the back.
Well, that Corio player comes out towards Elzing. He runs onto the footy now. He's got the chance to send it long up into the attacking zone up there looking for Weiss. He overruns the football. The defender there from Corio slaps the ball out underneath the back there towards the boundary line. He's held without it. On that occasion, he'll get the free kick too. And umpire right on the scene there.
Do you agree with that?
Oh, it was pretty soft, I think, but the player from North Geelong did prevent him from going back into the contest. So
yeah, you're right. Yeah.
Anyway, drives it up.
Oh, good mark.
A strong mark taken there by that player there in Bob Magnuson. Sends the ball up to the half-forward flank there. Over the back of the pack was Elzinger. He couldn't take the mark. Handballed off there by the Corio defender. Out towards his teammate in Hayes. He can't bend over and pick up the footy on this occasion. He elects to throw the North Geelong player into the ground. I think the umpire's picked the free kick up, and there's a bit of how-to-do going on out there.
Luke Shelley wasn't happy with something.
It's been not a bad contest up to this stage. A bit scrambly, but that's the conditions of the day.
Elzinger
drives it up to the half-forward line. Up there for Poulter. Poulter recovers quickly, picks the ball up, sends it into goal. It's skidding all the way into the goal square.
Oh, he's put that through, if you don't mind. Umpire, this bloke, that's sealed it. So far from mine, he's best man on the ground.
Well, certainly that was his 11th possession for the quarter, Matthew Poulter. And, you know, if you want to pick up a possession at any stage of the game and you know, give your team the advantage, that's the sort of thing you want to be able to do and kick that goal, and it skidded all the way through. And that might be the example of what might happen a little bit more as the day goes on here today. But North Geelong 5-8-38 lead Corio 4-2-26, and that score is on the GDFL Bingo Centre scoreboard. Up they go. Hayes knocks the ball down. He tries to recover, but is pushed out by Poulter. Good work by that player, and good quarter there by the North Geelong boys as they were going into the breeze there in this quarter, and were able to score 2 goals, one in that quarter to the Corio side, who were only able to score the 1 goal with that wind. And at 3/4 time, North Geelong 5-8-38 lead Corio 4-2-26.
You go through the goal kickers. I'll just quickly do the better players.
Corio's goal kickers, first off, Barry O'Toole has 2 goals, 1 goal to Adrian Kenyon and Travis West. And for the North Geelong side, we've got 2 goals to Wes Large, 1 goal to Matthew Poulter, an excellent quarter by that player, 1 goal to Andrew Drabowski, and 1 goal to Troy Elzinger.
Yes, and I'd say the better players for that quarter was that last player you mentioned, Troy Elzinger, and without a doubt, number 15, Matthew Poulter, has played an absolute sterling game, I think, all day, and that was probably his better quarter, especially if you tell me that 3/4 of the way through that quarter he'd had 9 kicks and a lot of possessions, and Danny McCall's still been very solid back there in the back line. For the Corio side, no one's tried harder, and I agree with your summation of the situation, than Barry O'Toole with 2 goals up there, and he probably, as you said, been put up there on the ball. Joel Hayes has tried very hard, so has David Hayes, and they're really, other than that, you know, I'm struggling to find...
Well, Matthew King's playing a good game,
Matthew King. I'm sorry. I do apologise to Matthew. He's certainly played a very good game. But other than... Brett Glynn too. I think he's put in and done a fair bit for the boys. But other than that, I'm...
Matthew Ince, I think, was also held up a few of the North Geelong attacks there across half-back for the Corio side.
Okay.
But certainly, you know, all-important last quarter just about to come up, and Corio down by 2 goals, certainly not out of it by any means, and I think that they can come back, provided that they get the better use out of their captain there, and Barry O'Toole. They've got to put him on the ball. They've possibly... also should use Matthew King in the ruck and put David Hayes, I think, down into the forward line. Let him have a rest. He's worked hard for 3/4. I think it's up for the rest of the boys now to lift themselves up. I think there's also some more work required by the player there in Alan Alford. I think that he could do a little bit more, and so too could Joel Hayes and a few of the other boys there. But if they're to win this game, the improved efforts need to come from those players. North Geelong, on the other hand, certainly... have the upper hand at the moment, and no better player than Matthew Poulter on the ground. Certainly gave them a lift in that quarter, and North Geelong will be looking for some a continued effort of from that player in the last quarter.
We'll be back shortly, Chris, with the final quarter and the one that's going to decide who's going to take out the under-18 premiership. Okay, welcome back to the final quarter. This is the one that's going to seal the fate of one of these sides, and the other one will be holding the premiership cup aloft, as I see Barry Walker walking past with a red head, and Ronnie Brain waiting down there. Chris Aikman, you're still going to go for Corio?
I think that they've got a lot of work to do, but you know, you've got to stick with your prediction. You can't change. North Geelong has certainly got the advantage at this stage and deserve their lead, but I see that player there in the goal square in Barry O'Toole, and you know they're going to have to get the ball down. A lot of occasions for him to be able to do it, but I think that they'd be far better putting him on the ball.
And they're going to have to do it against the wind.
And certainly will, yes.
And when you are... 12 points behind, Chris. It's a big ask.
And goals have been difficult to score here today.
Yes, it has. Yeah, they have. So I'm going to tell you right now, North Geelong on the under-18s, North Geelong on the reserves, and Bannockburn in the seniors.
Well, I think that you're right there. I think North Geelong will win the reserves, and I think that Bannockburn will finish the season off with the grand final in the seniors. Thrown up there by umpire Stokes. Up they go. The big fella there in McCall taps the ball down. It comes out at the back of the pack towards Elzinger. He couldn't pick the ball up though. Comes players from both sides going in hard to cry. A player is pushed into the ground, but the umpire says it was held to him, and the umpire will come in and bounce it up, throw it up. On this occasion, it'll be Paul Grosman to throw the ball in the air. Up they go. McCall once again doing the ruck work against Hayes. McCall got the tap out on this occasion. It comes down, kicked off the ground there by Elzinger. It's kicking in danger. And the player from Corio had his hands on the ball there. It was David Hayes, and he'll take the free kick. In the glue pot. Drives it up to the half-forward line. Up there looking for his teammate. They're punched away there by that player from North Geelong in Matt Armstrong. Goes out towards kicked off the ground out towards Dragovic out in the half-back line. He knocks it towards the boundary line, and it'll be thrown in about 40 metres out from the Corio goal.
Well, that's all I have to do now, North Geelong, isn't it?
Well, they only have to hold it up, and you know, we haven't been going long into the quarter, but certainly they've been holding it up pretty well there. Ball comes down from that ruck contest, goes to ground level. Player hung on to on that occasion was Drabowski, and he'll get the free kick. See some leads. Sends a ball long up in the wing, looking for Large. He taps the ball forward though. Over the back of the pack, we see running onto it now is Adam Walsh. He couldn't take the possession of the footy. He kicked it off the ground further forward for his teammates. It comes up there where it's picked up there by Greg Patterson for Corio. Handballs it back towards the traffic there. Congestion of players develop, and it'll be balled up about the 50-metre line for the North Geelong side on the outer side of the ground here at Godfrey Street. And the Godfrey Street Lake, as you've heard Noel Fanning call it this afternoon.
So we see umpires at coach down there, Ray Edwards, puffing away on a gasper. That's the greatest example I've seen of keep those umpires fit, Raymond.
Anyway, the free kick's been paid out of that contest, and it's going to the Corio player. The kick off his boot smothered. Working in hard there was that player in Anderson. Dives on the footy, and it goes against him, and it goes to the North Geelong player over there. I just can't pick up who that player is at the present time, but anyway, chips it across to his teammate there in Elzinger, and Elzinger's got the ball at the centre half forward position. He will kick from about 48 metres out, directly in front. He won't make the distance. I'd be surprised to see him make the distance, but with that heavy ball, comes in. Puts the ball on its way. It's a nice looking kick, isn't it? It goes over the back of the pack. He made the distance all right, and only a minor score though, and that it's a vital point to the North Geelong side because Corio now have to score 3 goals to win it, and North Geelong 5-9-39 lead Corio 4-2-26.
It wasn't Hutchison out there, mate. It was Brendan Cole.
Brendan Cole, and that score is on the Upgo Easy Shop scoreboard for this quarter. Upgo Easy Shop's our sponsor for this quarter. Ball kicked in there. He's run over the line. The full back in Hayes. The ruckman taking the ball, was it?
Well, it's ball up there, isn't it?
Yeah, he's actually gone over the line, and the umpire's held it up, and he will bounce it up right on, or throw it up right on the 10-metre line.
I think the rule is their back foot has to be behind the line, isn't it?
Well, I'm not sure. I couldn't tell you what the rule is on that occasion. I haven't read the rule on that one, but I think that, the back foot does have to be held down, but the kick comes out to the half-back flank. The player there from North Geelong running the ball over the boundary line, and that was Brendan Cole. Brendan Cole. And, you know, that player in David Hayes has done a lot of work in the ruck, and to see him kicking the ball in at full back is...
ridiculous.
Yeah, it's not smart football.
No. You've got to have your ruckman up where it's going to be.
Well,
wouldn't you think?
You would think so.
Yeah.
Anyway, the free kick's been paid out of that ruck contest, and it's going over.
It's Cole.
And,
is it Cole with the ball?
There's a bit of heavy work going on at centre back. Someone's being sent off, are they?
Well, there's a bit of
pushing and shoving going on
there, yeah. And well done by Jamie Hutchison to take Matthew Poulter away from the action, because he doesn't want to undo the good work that he's done so far, does he?
No, and the player is coming towards the boundary line, so I presume he's going off.
Well, that's going to leave him with 17 men on the ground for the rest of the
And I couldn't see anything major in that, jeez. But the umpires are out there, they're doing the jobs, and I suppose they've...
It's Luke Shelley.
Luke Shelley, is it? Yes, the red-headed boy. No, and that's it's unfortunate for Corio, because that's going to make their task even more difficult now. But as we see this player from North Geelong come in with the ball, lines it up, sends it on its way, goes over the back of the pack there, and only 1 point.
Brings up their 10th point, Chris.
Yes, and
is that me or you that's singing a song?
no, certainly not me, but someone down in front of us, I think. But on the APCO Easy Shop scoreboard, North Geelong 5-10-40, lead Corio 4-2-26. Over the back of the pack comes Elzinger. He butters up after himself on that occasion, has a flying shot for goal, but it's once again it's in the last line of defence. Hayes marks the ball. Handballs over the top to his teammate in Matthew Ince. He drops the footy on that occasion. North Geelong come in quickly and pounce on the football, trying to push the ball out to the running Poulter there, but not to be on that occasion. The Corio boys hold that ball up and will be bounced up about 10 metres out from the North Geelong goal.
It was a straight enough kick.
Certainly
wasn't
was.
long enough and high
Up
enough.
they go. Hayes grabs the ball out of there on that occasion. He was quickly thrown into the ground there by the North Geelong players, but the umpire says it was held to him, and once again they'll have to come in and throw it up. See the player looking to come on the ground is Gavin Warren. Ball comes up, slapped out of the pack there by the Corio players. There comes out towards the player there in Drabowski. He overruns the footy. The umpire's picked out a free kick, and it goes to a North Geelong player. And he was met heavily in that contest over the shoulder.
I reckon it hurt him too.
Well, it certainly would. And I think it might be Dragovic, is it? Is it Dragovic that's going to take the kick?
Let's just get the cameraman to pan back to his left. Back to the left, and we might be able to pick him up. There he is.
No,
there,
it's
right
number 4. Is it Adam Walsh?
There he is, right there.
It is Adam Walsh, I think, that's got the footy.
Right over there in front of the Stevenson and Son guttering and down.
No, it's not Adam Walsh. It's number 14, Bob Manuson.
Magnuson, is it?
Yep. I presume that's how you pronounce it. Apologies to the family if we're not picking that up properly, but Manuson has the ball.
Reckon you'll kick it? I do.
No, I think he'll put it into the goal
I didn't
square.
even make the distance. You're very good, Chris.
Up over the back of the pack there, punching the ball down, was that player there in, I think it was Warren on the ground. Knocks the ball down, kicked off the ground there by the Corio defence towards the boundary line. Diving onto the ball was that player there from Corio, but couldn't get the footy out, and it's gone over the boundary line and be thrown in about 40 metres around from the North Geelong goal. Doing all the attacking in this final quarter. Thrown in front of the pack there was Drabowski. Gets the ball down to Large. He gets a carried kick though, smothered off the boot. Comes out now, is kicked off the ground there once again by Daniel Gibbs. Players from both sides going in hard, fierce for the ball, trying to hold it up. The umpire's picked a free kick out, and I think it's going to the Corio player. There in that player in Matthew Ince, who's playing a not bad game on the half-back flank. A poor kick from that player's found Dragovic from North Geelong, and he'll kick from about 60 metres out. Moves the ball on quickly, directs it over towards Poulter territory. Couldn't take the mark on that occasion. He recovers quickly, tackling that Corio boy. He's picked up there by that player and sent out towards the half-back flank. Hayes leads in the race for the football. He dives down. Good handball off there, but he's got some support now in terms of Luke Anderson. He's pushed over the boundary line and with the football, and the ball will be thrown in midway between centre wing and the half-forward line in North Geelong's attacking zone on the outer side of the ground.
I think Coach Jim Elford's taken your advice, Chris, and he's taken Barry O'Toole away from full forward because the ball's not going to come up there, and he's put him on the ball.
Yes,
as we see O'Toole then go in extremely hard and give away a free kick, so he might be a bit frustrated, Barry, and I can understand why he would be, because the opportunities have been limited for him. As we see North Geelong with the football. Yeah. That's the
Elzinger.
The kick-off Elzinger. He's kicked it in the centre forward. No one can take the football, but buttering up well at the Corio defence there, and that looked like Mark Welsh. No, it wasn't. It was Brett Rutherford. Rutherford kick goes into the centre of the ground. Nobody can do anything with it, but North Geelong can. Kick the ball back to centre forward. Good play. Back to Elzinger. Is that Elzinger?
Yes.
Elzinger again, dispossessed of the football, coming through strongly. Too high for mine on that Corio player, but the North Geelong boys butter up and kicks the ball out here, where we find running down on his own is that Brendan Cole, and he has a flying shot for goal, but he's offline and he puts it through for 1 point. As we see coming off the ground was the big fella, and going on at number 2, Mark Welsh. And they've taken this bloke off, and I'd say not because he's done badly. I think it's just that they believe now that they have the premiership in the bag and they're going to give all their boys a run.
Yeah, so that's not a bad idea either, to make sure the boys get a little bit of exposure in this grand final. Picked up there by that player there in Mark Walsh. Sends it into the forward line for the North Geelong side. Players going in hard at ground level. Picked up there by the Corio defender in Ricky Lazarich. Sends it out to the wing position over the back of the Brent Rutherford's head, but he knocks the ball towards the boundary line. And his teammate Greg Foran couldn't pick up the footy on that occasion, and will be thrown in on centre wing position, outer side of the ground. Time ticking away for Corio. We've been playing 10 minutes of this final quarter. Up over the back of the pack, knocked down there, picked up by Hayes. He gets met heavily there on that occasion by that North Geelong player, and Hayes will take the free kick. Hasn't been a bad player, this guy. He's tried hard for them all day. And David Hayes sends the ball up to the half-forward flank. Up there looking for Hayes over the back. I don't know if he's his brother, but Joel Hayes has infringed in that contest, and the free kick will go to the North Geelong defender.
Magnuson, is it?
Yes, Bobby Magnuson. Yes, he selects to switch the play, goes towards the outer side of the ground, over the top of Alford's head, comes out toward Poulter, can pick up the football on this occasion. He recovers quickly, picks the ball up now, sees his teammate up half-forward flank, who marks there in Danny McCall. He moves the ball on quickly, but the ball couldn't be taken there cleanly. Picked up by Dragovic. He's going to get caught there, thrown into the ground, picked up by Bob McCall again, comes towards the 50-metre line, but it's pushed over by the Corio defence, and there's going to be a bit of how to do on that occasion, because the player came back in Adrian Kenyon, and this is just going to waste time now. And
this is suiting North Geelong. If they're going to start a fight, this will suit North Geelong because, mate, they are in front.
Yes, exactly right. And Adrian Kenyon, there was no need for that on that occasion, but nevertheless, ball's thrown in. Comes over the back of the pack. McCall tries to get the ball off. Picked up there by that player in David Shields. Kick smothered off the boot. Coming in hard there was that also the North Geelong boy and Andrew Drabowski, and he forces the ball towards the boundary line, and I think he's going to get a free kick for in the back.
Good boy, Neil.
And Andrew Drabowski's got the free kick. Corio boy's not really happy with that, but nevertheless the umpire's made his decision. He doesn't change his mind very often, and Andrew Drabowski's about to send North Geelong deep into their attacking zone with a mongrel torpedo up over to the forward line. No player can take the mark on that occasion. David Hayes comes through for Corio though. Good work by that player up the centre half back, over the back of the pack there, number 5 Guernsey, and that's good work there by that Daniel Stranger. He moves the ball on quickly, sees his teammate over there, David Shields. Got the chance to kick the ball off the ground. Goes towards the boundary line. He's got no support there, and ball beats both he and Matt Poulter over the line before they could get to it, and will be thrown in right in front of our commentary box.
Poulter to go up in the ruck this time because his main ruckman hasn't made the contest. Don't go shepherding, Matthew. You don't need to do that. Just go for the football, which he did, and he's got it, and he's got his boot to it. And he's kicked it down to where Jamie Hutchinson spilt the easiest of marks. He plays up with a little bit of skill. Onto the left foot, goes inboard looking for his teammate, and finds him too, on the reap, on the bounce. But Matthew Poulter, that man again, picks the football up. He punches it down to the forward line, where we see coming out for Adam Welsh for North Geelong. He gets onto the football, goes around onto his preferred right
Smart
foot,
football. Good
and
football.
He goes bang and puts it through for 1 point, and it should have been a goal.
Deserved better from that effort because he won the football, worked hard, didn't bounce it, touched the ball on the ground, but wasn't accurate in his disposal and execution there, and only 1 point. But I think that player's gone over the line again from full back.
Same bloke, is it?
Yeah, I think it might be. No, it's Matthew King on this occasion, but at the Upgo Easy Shop scoreboard, at the 13-minute mark of this final quarter, North Geelong 5-12-42, lead Corio 4-2-26. 16-point margin. Up in front, David Hayes over the back was the player there in McCall, but David Hayes has got the free kick for playing in front on that ruck contest, and he's played a good game, this guy. Certainly been Corio's best player. David Hayes to clear for the Corio side. Sends the ball out to the half-back flank. Out there looking for his teammates out there. Couldn't find anyone in that aerial contest. It comes down to ground now. Players from both sides going in hard. It's pushed out there by the Corio defence, but a free kick's been picked up by the umpire, and I think it's going to go to Corio.
John McNally on and Joel Musty off for Corio.
And it might go to Alford. I think Alan Alford to take the free kick, or is it Daniel Stranger? I think it's Daniel Stranger.
Have a look at Jamie Weiss. He's a big boy. Either that or he's standing on something. Number 10 for North Geelong.
Yeah, he's a big boy, isn't he?
Yeah.
But, anyway, the ball's kicked by Daniel Stranger and it's gone over the boundary line on a full shocking kick from that player. And free kick will be taken midway between centre wing and half forward by the North Geelong player over there. And it looks like Bob Magnuson. Sends the ball long, deep into the attacking zone. Up they go. Over the back of the pack was Hayes. He couldn't take the mark on that occasion. Tapped down there, pushed out towards the Matthew Poulter. He puts the ball into his boot. Hurriedly goes to shot for goal. Matthew King drops the mark in the goal square. Coming in hard there was that North Geelong player in Brendan Cole. He couldn't pick the ball up on that occasion. Trying to push the ball off along the ground as the Corio boys. There's a bit of physical stuff going on without even attacking the football. And I think Brendan Cole's going to get the free kick.
Barry Walker's laughing at that.
And Brendan Cole, he's only about 20 metres out, but he might have a shot from that position.
He got the free kick out of it, though.
And I don't think the umpire's seen the first one.
No, he certainly didn't, Chris.
Anyway, he's put it on his boot and it's hit the post. Only another minor score to the North Geelong side, and we've been playing 15 minutes of this final quarter, and on the Up Go Easy Shop scoreboard, North Geelong 5-13-44, lead Corio 4-2-26.
43.
5-13?
43.
43 for 4-2-26.
Barry O'Toole.
Barry O'Toole, one end of the ground to the other, Barry. Anyway, sends the ball up to the half-back flank. Over the back of the pack there is Anderson. He can't pick up the ball. Pushed forward by the North Geelong boys. Kicked off the ground now by Hayes. Playing a good game for his side. Still trying hard. Picked up by Stranger now. Sends the ball up to the half-forward flank. No one up there for the Corio boys. Leading in the race for the balls, Nathan Tabb. Pushes the ball towards the boundary line. Good defensive work there because he had very little support, and the ball will be thrown in. Centre wing to half-forward flank on the outer side of the ground here into Corio's attacking zone. Thrown in. In front is McCall. Over the back of the pack was Hayes. He's been working tirelessly for his side. Ball comes down at ground level. Players congestion of players develop there and will be thrown up. About 10 metres in from where it was thrown. In. Up they go. Tapped down again by Hayes. Comes down to North Geelong. They win possession of the football, but it held onto it too long, and the free kick will be taken by the player there in David Hayes once again. He's an excellent player. He's been playing really well.
He has.
Certainly, he's been in everything, and he's been consistent for 4 quarters. I think he's really tired more than anything else. But anyway, the ball comes up to the half-forward flanks, picked up by Anderson. He's thrown into the ground. He didn't get rid of it in any way whatsoever. And the umpire said it's your free kick. He doesn't even know it's his.
I would have
That's
paid
50
that
metres too.
Because he just let it go.
He did let it go. He didn't make any effort to get rid of it. But on that occasion, the umpire hasn't picked it up. The ball wasn't thrown back to him on the full, and should have been awarded a 50-metre penalty. He's kicked it into the man.
And he ran over the mark too.
Yeah. But anyway, it comes out to player in Adam Walsh. He handballs over the top to Elzinger, who slaps it to forward, but comes in Alford. Alan Alford sends the ball up to the half-forward line for Corio. Kicked off the ground there by the North Geelong defence in Matt Armstrong. Coming in hard was the Corio boys there, trying to pick up the football, who we see there in that player in Matthew Ince. But now North Geelong clear the ball now. Free kick was paid to them. They play on, go to the centre wing position. Over the back of the pack there is that player in Wes Large, but he forces the ball towards the boundary line. It'll be thrown in on their half-forward line.
Yes, right in front of the change rooms here. We're going to see Matthew Poulter go up in the ruck again. He must be rucking on the ball now, Chris.
He's certainly just doing a bit of physical work now, Matthew Poulter.
Done.
And anyway, the ball comes out from that ruck contest over towards Barry O'Toole. Certainly been starved of opportunities in this quarter. He's got the free kick from that for into the back. He has no support out wide, so he's going to have to look to see where his teammates are and directed in that area. Sees Luke Anderson, but he's over the back was David Hayes again. This guy's tried hard, and so he's taken a mark in the centre. He moves the ball on quickly. Sees his teammate up forward up there in Stranger. He can't take the mark. Comes down to ground now where it's the player there trying to get the ball forward. Gundry knocks the ball forward. He was dispossessed and then kicked it off the ground. Comes back to Stranger. He tries to get the ball out, but North Geelong's defence working solidly there. Kicks out of that pack. It comes back out where we see the player in King try to get the ball. He gets it over to Hayes. Hayes is thrown into the ground after he gets rid of it on that occasion. Kicked off the ground there by the player in there in Nathan Tabb. It comes up there and the free kick's been paid against Nathan Tabb, and it'll go to the player there for Corio in John McNally, and he will take the free kick and send Corio into attack. Sends the ball up long. Up there looking for his team. Punched away from him by Elzinger. Comes down to the ground where coming across there was Ricky Lazarich, but he got the ball forward and the mark's been taken by his teammate up forward. And I think this is Daniel Stranger again. And Daniel Stranger's too far out to kick for mine. He's probably going to kick from 50 metres out. He sees a lead from his teammate, directs it in his path. No free kick or no mark was taken there by David Shields. The North Geelong defence working hard in there, picked up there once again by David Hayes. He sends the ball in, kicked off the ground by the North Geelong defence, and a mark's been taken. The umpire called play on.
Must have
gone 10 metres, but it's pushed out wide from that player's. Poor disposal of the ball, come out to Elzinger. He's laid on top of the footy, and at the 50-metre mark, and the free kick will go against him and be picked up by Brent Rutherford. Moves the ball on quickly. Sees his teammate up there. He couldn't take the mark. It's cleared for them by that player there in Nathan Tabb. He sends the ball to the wing position. Sees his teammate there in Wes Large come across. He tried to knock it forward, but it only hit the boot of Ricky Lazarich and has gone over the boundary line. And I think the ball will be thrown in right in front of our commentary box. Players from both sides will be very tired in these conditions. Here as we've been playing 10 seconds to go in this game. Up over the back was Andrew Drabowski. Tries to kick the ball off the ground, but he goes over the boundary line and carries the ball with him, and it'll be thrown in once again right in front of our commentary box. And I think that's the siren. And North Geelong are premiers for 1996. And as we see the rain come down here at...
North Geelong runner's gone nuts, mate. He's got the football under his thing and he's running around like a lunatic.
Yes. And the North Geelong boys, as we see, a very happy bunch of players in front of us. And
Brett, get that guy on the green, quick. Get him up there. Quick, over the fence.
He's got the footy. He's run off with the footy. And
missed him. The North Geelong runner's
gone off the footy, but nevertheless...
I don't know why he wanted to knock it off. They get it presented to them anyway at presentation night.
Well, he might have wanted it for himself, you think?
Yeah.
So anyway, on the App Go Easy Shops scoreboard, the final score in this Under-18 West Coast Junior League Grand Final. North Geelong, 5-13-43, have run out 17-point winners over Corio, 4-2-26. Goal kickers for the North Geelong side. North Geelong didn't score a goal in the last quarter, but did add to their score with 5 points. The goal kickers, North Geelong, 2 goals to Wes Large, 1 goal to Matthew Poulter, 1 goal to Andrew Drabowski, and 1 goal to Troy Elzinger. And for Corio, 1 goal to Adrian Kenyon, 2 goals to Barry O'Toole, and 1 goal to Travis West.
Well, Chris, best man on the ground. You give your 3-2-1, mate, and I'll be the back you up or I'll go against you.
Well, I gave 3 votes to... I think a guy that tried very hard for his side all day in David Hayes. He rucked tirelessly. He dropped back into defence. He certainly picked up a lot of possessions in the last quarter and tried to give his team a bit of a lift. I gave him 3 votes. I gave 2 votes to Matthew Poulter, in and out of the game, but certainly set the game up with his third quarter 11 disposal effort. I gave him 2 votes, and I gave 1 vote in the game to the other player in Troy Elzinger, who I thought was North Geelong's other better player. But
Go on.
But certainly they were the 3 best players that I felt on the ground.
Well, we might have a tie here for best man on the ground. I've given my 3 votes to Matthew Poulter, 2 votes to David Hayes, and my 1 vote went to Troy Elzinger too. So I'll let you make the decision, Chris.
Well, the Corio boys are actually leaving the ground.
Should we have both sides come over to in front of the guest video, please? Corio and North Geelong.
Well, whilst we're making a decision...
Well, I really do think that this player played an outstanding game. He tried hard all day, and I believe that...
David Hayes, number 1 for Corio, best on the ground. 2nd best on the ground, Matthew Poulter, number 15 for North Geelong, and 3rd best on the ground, Troy Elzinger from North Geelong. Yep, I'll mark him. 1 there. 2 there, and 3 to Elzinger was what
27.
27.
North Geelong, could you come over in front of the guest video, please?
Number 1 gets best on the ground. Corio.
Just about.
With me? 1, 2 and 3. Should be 3, 2 and 1. I've written them in reverse. Yep. As we see the Corio boys
assembling in front of us here.
Iris. Yeah, the Corio boys have assembled there in front of us. While we're waiting for the presentation of the trophies, we'll go through our crew today, the guest video commentators.
North Geelong, could you please come over in front of the guest video?
And yours sincerely, Noel Fanning. Our cameraman technicians were Brett Revere and Dean Bushell. The umpires for today were Paul Grossman and Rod Stokes. Out of 10, Chris, quickly.
Oh, I think they umpired quite reasonably in the conditions they gave. They had full control of the game, so I'd say 7.
Yeah, well, I give them 8, so I thought they did a good job too. Jay Dutton and B. Gore are the boundaries in the goal.
You've given an umpire to all year, Noel.
It is so. Eddie Billing and John Hill, and the emergency was Neil Kramer, who had a little bit of work to do, but not much, because the boys played the game in excellent spirit.
Right, on behalf of the GDFL and the West Coast Junior League, I'd like to congratulate the North Geelong Football Club this morning for winning the Under-18 Premiership. To their coach Steve and their captain Jamie, congratulations, and also to the rest of the staff and the players. To Big Dick over there in the background. To the Corio boys, to Jimmy Alford, disappointing. You had a good win last year, Jim, against North Geelong. Weren't quite up to it today, but you gave a tremendous effort. Everyone out there today were committed to trying to win that premiership for you, and well done on your efforts today. Now I'd like to hand over to Framey to give the guest video awards.
Thanks very much, Ian, and on behalf of the guest video commentators, Noel Fanning and Chris Hagerman, who called the game. One vote today for a great game. He's played a lot of senior football for the Pies, and he'll receive a APCO Easy Shop glass tankard. Congratulations to Troy Elzinga for 1 vote.
Got the Troy's played a great game on the wing, as Ron said. Has played a lot of.
Congratulations, Troy. Great game.
Great effort.
2 votes. 2 votes went to a teammate of Troy's, the number 15 Gumper, Matthew Polder. Matthew also receives a APCO Easy Shop glass tankard. On behalf of Bannockburn Sporting Trophies, it's a great award to win to commemorate the best performer in the Under-18 Grand Final. And today, the guest video boys saw fit to award it to the number 1 jumper for the Corio side, David Hayes. Congratulations, David. Best on ground in the Grand Final.
Well, he certainly played in the ruck, played at centre half back there for a while. He played a lot of positions.
Now I'd like to call on Ray Edwards from Corio Village News Agency to present the Corio Village News Agency Cup.
I know it's not the same as getting a
Thanks,
premiership
Schools.
cup, but he certainly played well.
Congratulations to both sides on reaching the grand final, and I think when we look at the hard conditions out there today, I think both sides have performed very well. To Tim and the Corio boys, bad luck, but you were there once again, but this time you haven't taken the cup. To North Geelong, to Steve and Tim, on behalf of Corio Village News Agency, I'd like to hand over the Premiership Cup for 1996 for the Under-18s. Well done.
Well, congratulations must go to the coach of the North Geelong Football Club. Done a great job, Mr. Jansen. He's been Steve Jansen. He's done a great job as we see the cup being held aloft by Steve. And,
thank you very much, and again, well done to the North Geelong Football Club.
The number 1 Guernsey, and they've worked hard for it all year. Congratulations to Steve Jansen and the North Geelong Football Club. Matter of fact, I think they got a championship out of that.
Yes, they certainly do, and for being an undefeated side in the competition all year.
That's hard to do in any grade of football, get a championship.
Well, it certainly is, and they full credit to them and their club, because they've run out successful here today. They've been the undefeated side all year, and they started red hot favourites for this morning's match, and you know, they've been the yardstick of the competition. Don't take anything away from Corio. I think they threw everything they possibly could at North Geelong, but in the end, you know, that the North Geelong boys came through and actually won their championship and also the Premiership Cup in the West Coast Junior League competition for this year. And we also see in the reserves the banner go up there for the reserve game, and we see that also the Magpies will be playing the Bellpost Hill Football Club this afternoon. But in the Under-18 Grand Final, North Geelong running out victors. The final score on the APCO Easy Shop scoreboard: North Geelong 5-13-43, defeated Corio 4-2-26.